We redefine your relationship with energy, save you money, and get you on the path to a cleaner, greener future. JFW Renewables, your nationwide solar energy specialists. Call us today for a greener tomorrow.
QFinancial.ie got the price and advice for me.
Pension auto-enrolment will soon be introduced. This means that all full-time workers over the age of 23 earning more than €20,000 per year must contribute to a pension, and employers must contribute. What are those pension entitlements, and is there independent advice available? The Q Financial Pension Team are experienced in advising both employees and employers of the positive and affordable options available for your situation. Call 091 421 900 or log on to qfinancial.ie.
QFinancial.ie.
Based in Clare, Galway, OMA Financial Services Limited, trading as qfinancial.ie, is an authorised independent pension intermediary regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
And you're very welcome to Kenny Park in Athenry for the senior Group 4 game, the clash between Castlegar and Sarsfields, both of them who were winners first day out. And if you're a little bit confused like myself to see the sun shining here in Kenny Park this evening, yes, it is the sun from a championship the last 2 weeks, but yesterday evening I was actually here in Kenny Park and it was like a winter's evening, but thankfully we have the sun here. Castlegar then and Sarsfields, the two teams that are taking part here this evening in a game that's been eagerly anticipated. Let's start then with the Castlegar team. They're in their traditional green jerseys with a white hoop. A few changes, we'll go through them as we'll give you the lineup. In goal for them is Liam Riley. The full back line reads 19 Garroge King, 3 is Cathal Ryan, and 4 is Martin Connolly. A half back line of 5 Jack Coyne, 6 Simon Thomas, and 7 Donald Barry. Midfield partnership of 8 Sean Neary and 9 Mark Gill. The half forward line then reads 21 Keane Corcoran, 11 Ger Farher, and 12 Darren Neary. And the inside line 22 is Daniel McNulty, 14 is Greg Thomas, and 15 is Oisin Connolly. Again, that's the 15 that starts, may not be starting in those positions. We look then at the Sarsfields team, who are in their white jerseys and going through their warm-up to our left-hand side here as we look out from the commentary position here in Kenny Park and Athenry. In goal for them is Kieran Dolan. A full back line of 2 Kevin Hines, 3 Niall Quinn, and 4 is David Connaughton. 19 Leon Kinnear, 6 John Cooney, and 7 Dara Donoghue make up that half back line. Again, we expect changes in where they'll actually play. 8 is Ian Fox, 9 is Alex Kinnear. The forward unit then reads 10 Paddy McCorry, 20 Evan Cox, 12 Adam Donoghue, and the inside line is 21 Michael O'Hanlon, Kevin Cooney at 14, and John Cosgrove fit enough to start at 15. Again, we expect changes with probably Evan Cox going back into defence. Delighted to be joined by Niall Canavan here in Kenny Park and Athenry. The first game that we had seen as part of the doubleheader here this evening, we saw a big win for Turlockmore over Capitaga, but this game, Niall, has kind of been earmarked for a while out, because if you look at the history, it's actually the 4th time they've met in 5 years. Last year Castle beat Sarsfields by 2. In 2022, Sarsfields defeated Castlegar, and 2020, remember, in the COVID year, a late penalty saw Sarsfields over the line against Castlegar. So there's kind of been a built-in rivalry between these two clubs, hasn't there?
Yeah, there has over the last while, and in fairness, there hasn't been a lot between them. This is a big game in this group in the context of the fact that both teams won their first group games, and a win today would possibly see them top the group. And the advantage of topping your group at the end of this is the fact that you'll get a break between the group stages and the quarter final. So if there's any injuries or things like that, they'll get plenty of time to recover from those. But there hasn't been a lot between the sides. We were here last year, and Castlegar won by a couple of points against Sarsfields. I see Gerard Farrer just coming over to us here now. It'll be interesting to see is Gerard Farrer actually playing. I know he came off with an injury the last time or last week. I don't know, is he playing actually from a Castlegar perspective? When we were watching him in the warm-up,
he
he's not
doesn't
playing,
look
I
like
think.
it. Yeah.
We were actually watching him in the warm-up. He didn't really take a whole lot of participation in it, so I don't think Gerard Farrer is actually playing for Castlegar today. He is a huge loss to them now.
Yeah, and it looks like it's Ender Concannon that actually is in, wearing 24, an experienced campaigner as well. And the one thing is, you cannot be looking at the warm-ups, because it was kind of obvious that Farrer was not part of the actual starting team in part of the drills.
Yeah, he wasn't doing a whole lot of them. We saw Greg Thomas was taking the frees as well prior to that, so that was obviously a standing thing. I can see John Commons seems to be with Cashel as well, as the mayor coming here with them as well, so they have a good outside influence as the Our Naveen takes place.
We take then the rendition of Our Naveen. So they're the last trains in Our Naveen. The breeze will be a factor. If anything, for the first game, now it seems to be kind of stiffening a little bit, and it will be Sarsfields that will have that wind advantage in that opening house. Sarsfields in their white jerseys will be playing from right to left as you're looking at the pitch here in Kenny Park, and the pitch looking in resplendent condition now. Yeah,
it looks in great nick. In fairness, has got a lot of games over the last couple of weeks, and it's in resplendent condition. It's a fantastic pitch, and it's the place where you want to be playing really as a hurler in the Galway Club Championship.
So the referee is Derek Kelly from the St Thomas's Club. Little bit of getting to know you in the middle of the field. Donald Barry and Sean Neary are the midfielders that are starting there for the men of Castlegar. Also out in the middle of the field is Evan Cox for Sarsfields. It's Castlegar then that get the first attack. Jack Coyne takes a late hit, and that's going to be a free in. And straight away an opportunity for Castlegar. It'd be interesting to see, obviously, without Gerard Farrer now, Niall, who was a huge component of Castlegar's game in terms of the free take in particular. Greg Thomas will take them, but we saw that when Farrer came off the last time, the big win over in Moormary, Greg took over the free taking duties, and out of his 9-point tally, I think 3 of them came from frees.
Yeah, he got 6 from play as well that day, so this is his first free of the day, and be interested to see how this goes now. Big pressure on him, considering that Farrer has been so effective with them down through the years.
Certainly is. So Greg Thomas strikes high and puts it straight and high and over the bar. So good start for the free taker to get your first one over. It goes from Greg Thomas. So used to saying Gerard Farrer. First point then to Castlegar. Long puck out by Kieran Donald. Keedy as they call him, goes over, finds Paddy McCorry, star of the St Raphael's team that reached the All-Ireland Colleges final. He goes back then to Alex Kinnear. Alex Kinnear hand pass inside looking for McCorry, but it's intercepted well by Sean Neary. Sean Neary, former Galway minor captain, drives a nearly ball into a 2-man full forward line. Coming across nicely here is Keane Corcoran onto that ball, turning onto the left hand side, well blocked down though. Excellent block there by Niall Quinn, and suddenly then through the auspices of Adam Donoghue, they have a huge shot from out the country from Sarsfields, and that gives you an idea of the strength of the breeze. Adam Donoghue, excellent score, well back inside his own half of the field. We're 11 in Kenny Park, 1 point apiece.
Great score by Adam Donoghue. He scored a great one against Ardrahan last time out as well at a crucial juncture in the game, but a good score, size level, a point apiece.
Yeah, interesting to see, as you can hear the breeze coming in here on our mic effects, as Dara Donoghue is the man that's been picking up Greg Thomas under that puck out, the first one that went down on Thomas. We would expect more to come down on him from a Castlegar viewpoint as they tidy up in defence. Comes out then to the midfielder Mark Gill. Well, he's wearing 9 anyway. He's back in the defensive position though. Ball breaks, break ball, who's onto it? John Cooney is looking to get onto it, but Simon Thomas slightly overhits the pass though and puts his team under pressure. Picked up then by Paddy McCorry. He goes back then to Alex Kinnear. Alex Kinnear on the 65-metre line, striking high, and Alex Kinnear putting it over the bar. And I think the one thing is for both these teams, Niall, if they had a look at the first game, either team with the wind, it is possible to score from a good distance out.
Yeah, the wind is huge here. We saw it in the first game with Turlockmore and Capataga. Turlock made full use of that wind in the first half. I think we're 10 or 11 points up at half time, and whoever has that wind advantage in the first half will try and put scores on the board. Great catch by Greg Thomas.
Yeah, great catch by Greg Thomas. Huge ball in around the square. Can they keep that ball alive in around? There's vying for possession in there. The man trying to get onto it is Oisin Connolly, but the referee Derek Kelly spotted an infringement, and that's going to be a free out. And a chance then for Kieran Doyle. If you notice, Sarsfields are anxious enough to keep life in the game. Long ball down to John Cooney. John Cooney seems to have started in that half forward line, bringing Simon Thomas for a little walk out towards the stand. John Cooney turns onto his right, and there's a lovely ball inside to the 2-man full forward line. Breaks out to John Cosgrove. Sarsfields delighted to have him back. John Cosgrove making a straight line, heading in there, getting past Jack Coyne, flicks the ball out then. Little bit overcooked, but Jerry Kelly goes back for the free. We were playing the advantage, nothing ensues, so he goes back for the free. Sarsfields, of course, without Joseph Cooney, without Darren Morrissey, 2 county hurlers, without Darren Murphy, who was on last year's under-20 team. Great to see. I think Cathal Dillon could also have had an injury. Great to see Kevin Cooney back, but John Cosgrove, they would be delighted to have him back this evening night.
Yeah, he's a good forward. In fairness, John Cosgrove, missed the last day out, but in fairness, Michael Hanlon came in the last day and played well, got 3 or 4 points from play, and he's kept his position. But they're without a couple of star performers, it must be said. Joseph Cooney and Darren Morrissey, just to name 2, and we know they're down a few more as well, but they're 2 county players that they're missing. They lead by 3 points to 1 here. Ger Farrer obviously now a huge loss to Castlegar as well, particularly from the leadership and the free taking responsibilities that he takes.
Liam O'Reilly's puck out again towards Thomas. We know where the puck outs are going, but tidying up when the ball hits the deck there is Dara Donoghue. And then Sarsfields build from the back again and go long into the inside line looking for Kevin Cooney, who missed all of Galway's serious season this year. Kevin Cooney from a very difficult angle goes for a point, but it goes across the face of the goal and wide. Kevin Cooney adds something direct in there, and I suppose, Niall, already we're 4 minutes in, 3 points to 1. Sarsfields will be very happy, and they just want to keep that board ticking.
They will, yeah, but they're playing, as we said, with a huge wind advantage in the first half. Kevin Cooney, as you mentioned, looked sharp the last day out, his first game back really since that injury for Galway again in that Walsh Cup final at the start of the year. Sarsfields have started well. They've got a good few points from out the field. Be interesting to see will they're trying to put a 1 or 2 inside to the forwards, but the strength of that wind, if you have a couple of shooters out the field, they're able to score. If you're on target, there's a chance that those ones will all go over the bar.
Sean Neary, no stranger just playing a sweeper roll down to the ears. He has his younger brother Darren Neary on his shoulder. Good pass, the Neary's combining. Dara goes back to Sean, a little bit overcooked. The pass is though, but it might break inside. A pick and a strike effort there by, I think it was Oisin Connolly. Ball is still alive. Sarsfields it is Sarsfields that win the ball there too. Their midfielder there, Ian Fox, always a good club hurler, gets the ball downfield, tidied up by Simon Thomas. Simon Thomas half blocked down, that ball goes out over the line, and that'll be a line ball on the far side of the field. Interesting, you can see, Niall, that the Castlegar attack, it's more measured. They're working it through the lines. The 2 Nearys combined, and they were unlucky not to get a score.
They were unlucky not to get a score, yeah. But I suppose against that win, Sean, you kind of have to work it up through the lines, because obviously it's very, very hard to make space or to shoot from outside, so you have to try and run it through the lines. We saw Turlock were very effective with that in the first game. Castlegar have started that way as well, but obviously that Kiltormer have been that bit more, Sarsfields have been that bit more direct, and they lead now by 3 points to 1. But early stages in the game yet, no discernible pattern as such, but we have seen that Sarsfields have got a couple of scores from out the field from Arlen Donoghue and Alex Kinnear.
I'm just watching, it looks like Simon Thomas is kind of sitting back in the pocket as a kind of a +1, isn't it, for Castlegar at the minute against the breeze?
Yeah, he's sitting back there. It's a funny one. The wind is very strong. If you take pot shots from outside, you're going to take out the +1, so to speak. But if you try and measure it inside, obviously it'd be more an advantage from a Castlegar viewpoint if the ball was being played low into that full forward line, where Thomas could go back and maybe retrieve a number of balls that might be trying to try and cut those balls out as Sarsfields are on the attack.
It was Castlegar, they were on the attack, and it was in Concannon had a shot that was half blocked, gone out for a 65. Into Concannon, a fairly experienced campaigner as well, and always good to get a few scores, so he'd be delighted to get an opportunity under Matt Murphy here as well, despite the fact that obviously Gerard Farr, a huge loss.
Yeah, and of course Enda has retired last year actually. I think he was only playing a bit of junior, wasn't playing senior at all, but is back this year, and a fair wily campaigner to bring in fairness, and he knows where the goal is. He's played a good many years obviously for Castlegar, and has been a really good forward for them down through the years.
Many's a good retirement was overturned in the down through the years. As Greg Thomas now with a 65, his team trailed by 1.3, 7 minutes in, 65. Greg Thomas certainly gives it height. Has the accuracy? No, it goes to the left hand side and wide. And you can see that place balls are a key factor in all of these games. As that ball goes wide, Kieran Dolan quickly goes out to his wing back there. That's Dara Donoghue, and Dara Donoghue from a huge distance out puts it high and puts it over the bar. And if ever there was a 2-point swing there, Niall, from the 65 going to the left hand side of the post from Castlegar's viewpoint, quick puck out to Dara Dolan. Kieran Dolan was on duty there, and Donoghue puts it over the bar. Yeah,
and again that shows the strength of the wind. If you take points, if you're able to shoot from outside and get scores from outside, the wind is huge.
Donald Barry meanwhile getting that ball from Enda Concannon, bearing down on goal. He got a goal in a similar position last year. His ball across the square though half intercepted. Sarsfields do enough, but that scrambled defence comes out though. An opportunity now for Castlegar to get a point from Oisin Conley, and it's high and it's over the bar. First point of the day for Oisin Conley, despite good efforts there by Niall Quinn to repel it initially. Probably from a Sarsfields point of view they'll be happy that it's only a point. Sarsfields 4 points, Castlegar now 2, 8 minutes in.
And in fairness to Concannon, a great catch from the puck out, and eventually resulted in a score for Oisin Conley. Castlegar be happy enough that good score from play to respond to the last score from Sarsfields.
Huge effort from out near the stand by John Cooney, and that goes to the wrong side of the post and wide. He seems to be operating at 11 on Simon Thomas now.
Yeah, he played at wing forward the last day out as well. Actually, Alex Kinnear was in at full forward at the start of the game, but
he could still be wing forward today too.
He played in the half forward line, obviously wearing number 6, but played in the half forward line against Ardrahan and played to good effect that day. Scored 3 points from play, and obviously he's a huge physical presence up there.
Stalemate situation from that puck out in the middle third. Again, both teams committing numbers to it, and it's Sarsfields that have won it. This lad has had a lively start, Dara Donoghue, and he goes on a run, getting away from Sean Neary. Good play by Dara Donoghue. Is this point number 2 coming from the wing back? The umpire has a long look. He's happy that it is, and Dara Donoghue gets his 2nd point from wing back. One, he can thank the quick thinking of his goalkeeper Kieran Dolan, but that was all about himself taking on the ball upfield and putting it high, putting it over the bar. Sarsfields lead 5-2.
Yeah, good score from him. Is he playing midfield? I'd say he played midfield the last day out. He was very good in their under 20 team 2 years ago, Sean, in the county final against Turlockmore both days. And in fairness, he got onto the team last year at senior level. Got 2 great points so far today.
Alex Kinnear finding Kevin Cooney. He tries to pick it up. Won't come up for him though. Michael Hanlon is on it. A man who started the last day, got 3 points. Goes back again to Kevin Cooney. Kevin Cooney in a difficult position but taking on the shot. And Kevin Cooney, that's the 2nd sighter, goes across the face of the goal and wide. Threat in there from Sarsfields' viewpoint though. The lead 5-2.
5-2, yeah. Kevin a bit disappointed. He's at two wides. Other days they'd have gone over the bar, and they'd be stretching the lead out. It'd be important for Castlegar just to keep in touch now and to get maybe a couple of scores so they'll stay in this game, because that wind is huge in this first half.
Greg Thomas went up to catch it, but the ball hits the deck. Ian Fox is on it instantly, and Ian Fox tries to play a clever ball inside, well read by Donal Barry though, who slips in and breaks to the other left-hander. That's John Cooney, and John Cooney from nearly 64 metres out puts it high, puts it over the bar. John Cooney availing of the slip in the Castlegar defence, putting it over the bar. Sarsfields stretched that lead out to 4, 6-2.
Good score by John Cooney, and again it was a long range effort from John Cooney. And of course, as we keep saying that the wind is huge, I think there might be, is there a blood sub? As Jerry Kelly is saying that there's a Schlitter, I think that has to be.
I think maybe a reluctance by Castlegar to come with a Schlitter, which
you wouldn't blame them for that. In fairness, they're playing against
into
the
wind.
Breeze,
yeah.
You try and slow the game down as much as you can.
Yeah, sharp puck out there, and he's blown for steps. The sharp puck out went to Garroge King, county minor last year with the Galway minors. He's developed into a big tall man.
We were talking in the first game, I think Donegal Campbell did something similar against Turlockmore. 2 guys that are just starting out their campaign, and it's their first year playing, and if they were playing maybe at under 20 or underage level, they'd get away with things like that. But at senior level, you're going to be put under pressure straight away. But he's a very inexperienced young man, but he's a really good hurler, and he's going to have a fine career.
Well, you wouldn't need to put that well behind him as Kevin Cooney puts it high and puts it over there. The other thing, in fairness to both goalies and defenders against the breeze, you have to go short, you have to try something different.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the schlitters that are caught in the net up on the top of the net there. There's a load of them, I'd say. Some young lad would be delighted if he could get them.
Counting, is there 4 or 5?
There's definitely 4 anyway. I've left the glasses at home, Sean. You have yours on, you might see better than me.
They'd say we don't see what's going on anyway. But anyway, Sarsfields come on the attack again. Yeah, Alex Kinnear getting that ball inside. Sarsfields beginning to move it a little bit quicker inside, trying to keep the ball alive in there is Hanlon. John Cosgrove is on the case as well. Sarsfields leading by 7 points to 2. As Niall mentioned a few minutes ago, we've reached the 12th minute. Castlegar wouldn't need the lead to go much greater than that as Donald Barry, what a great warrior he has been for Castlegar, gets it off to Sean Neary. That's better work by Castlegar, bringing it out through the lines, and Neary goes long to the inside line. Out comes Kevin Hines. He read it nearly before it was hit, but lose the ball into Concannon is onto it. Ball is picked up well, and Castlegar recycled back to Oisin Connolly. He stood to strike. Ball sprays off the stick, goes high up into the air, and it's won by and dealt with by Sarsfields. Comes back to Kevin Hines, and Kevin Hines goes out to the midfield sector. Paddy McCorry does well to break it into his path away from Jack Coyne. McCorry, nice little pass off. Strong Micheál Brannock's connections, of course, as Sarsfields come on the attack there. That long ball in from Leon Kinnear goes into Michael Hanlon. Michael Hanlon taking on his man. He's fouled. And he just got away. I think there was goal in his mind, wasn't there, as Hanlon turned him. And Michael Hanlon, we saw Darren Murphy a few years ago. Sarsfields have an ability to develop these kind of nippy, fast, quick, lively forwards that take you on, Niall.
Yeah, and he's a good one as well, in fairness. He's got 3 points the last day, took on Garage King, was fouled. This should extend the lead out to 8 points to 2. But I know Sarsfields have a lot of really good young hurlers, but if you look at the defence, Sean, Kieran Dolan is in goal, and Niall Quinn and Kevin Hines, those 3 guys have been stalwarts for Sarsfields down through the years, and they're still leading from the goalkeeping position, and that defensive, the prowess of Niall Quinn and Kevin Hines in defence is something that they badly need. And in fairness, they were all brilliant the last time out against Ardrahan, and they've started well today.
They lead by 8 points to 2. Puck out down on top of Greg Thomas's area. Breaks. Sarsfields is getting the number around that, but the man that gets onto the break is Sean Neary. Sean Neary. Clever ball out to Jack Coyne. Jack Coyne who got 3 points against Ormore Mare. That's a great strike into the breeze. Super score by Jack Coyne, a guy who was part of a Galway panel not so long ago under Micheál Donoghue, and he puts that ball. It's not gone up on the board now. Has that gone over the bar? Do we check to see? Still remains 8 points to 2. We'll check with that one again as Kevin Cooney nearly caught the ball at the other end.
I think it was a point. I'm not quite sure, but I thought it was a point. We'll see. It looked a point from our vantage point anyway, Sean.
Yeah, not sure if the ball went over the bar there from Jack Hine. It seemed to be, yeah. The scoreboard though didn't record it, but we'd assume that it is.
Yeah, 8 points to 3 by our reckoning anyway.
I think the referee is getting someone in his ear there, might be asking that question as well as Castlegar. Can they add to that score? 14 minutes gone in the opening half. Free out of the centre back position to be taken by Jack Coyne. Can he hit 2 in a row? This one is well struck again in towards the goal. Well taken down though by Kieran Dolan. And off the left he comes out to Alex Kinnear. Alex Kinnear looks upfield, decides to go the same side of the field, puts it into space, asking John Cosgrove, I'd say, to test the hamstring and also to win that race, which he does very well. Good play by John Cosgrove, played with the Galway under-20s this year. Looks inside, lovely ball again into space. That's what forwards love. Well broken away though by the full-back there. Cathal Ryan did well, and that was an important interception because the ball was going in nicely. Mark Gill on the ball, and who played Fitzgibbon hurling of course with UOG, goes back to Liam Riley who did likewise, and he goes back to Mark Gill again. So we can easily call them Castlegar and Fitzgibbon Cup teammates. Long ball down again to Greg Thomas, doesn't quite stick though. Picked up again by Dara Donoghue, he's got 2 points. Goes back to Heinze, who drives it upfield again for Sarsfield. Jack Coyne, is he foul? Knows the referee, played the ball. Paddy McCorry tries to go down on it under strong pressure though from 2 Castlegar men. Donald Barry leads the chase into the break ball situation. Nearly picked by McCorry. Down onto it though, and does pick it up as the man wearing 20, that's Evan Cox, and Evan Cox is fouled, which is the ire of the Castlegar viewers and the patrons that are here in Kenny Park, and that'll be free into them.
Yeah, it's been brought forward as well now for something that was said as well. But a chance here for Kevin Cooney to extend that lead out again. Still says 8-2, but I make it 8 points to 3, and I think it is 8 points to 3. There's Jack Coyne, that was a super effort from him. a couple of moments ago for Castlegar.
So then Kevin Cooney to take this free on the 45 metre line. Lovely way of striking it. Kevin Cooney puts it high, puts it over the bar. That's his 4th from the place ball. And it stretches the lead out to 9 points to 3, we reckon. 16 minutes gone. Opening half, puck out to the far side of the field into the breeze. Who's onto it? Sarsfields commit the numbers, and they've picked up, but I think it came awfully close to the grass on the ground. And despite the protestations there of Leon Kinnear, Derry Kelly deemed that he did go low, picked it off the ground, and cheap free to give away.
Yeah, cheap free to give away is right. And it's going to be a free to Castlegar. And Greg Thomas will try and bring the deficit back to 4 points.
Matt Murphy, of course, back in Galway senior club management with Castlegar this year, with Joe O'Leary, of course, he's coach from Ardrahan, but Tom Murphy, Tommy Joe Grogan, Pat Ryan and Barry Murphy all involved as well. For Sarsfields, Francis Madden, along with Ronan Quinn, Noel Kelly and Kevin Ward. The referees now going into the umpire, maybe to ask about the score that we thought that Jack Coyne got. Did it go over the bar? The scoreboard is reading 9 points to 2. Derry Kelly is chatting with his umpires there. Beauty of the modern communication that Derry Kelly has made the call now, and we'll see will there be any change perhaps to the board. This is what I'm surmising now.
It's 3 points is on the board
the point
now.
hasn't suddenly appeared, so it is 6 or 9 points to 3. You'll be kept, Niall.
Well, I don't know about that now, but anyway.
So Greg Thomas taking the place ball again, goes high again, striking it, and this one goes over the bar. So on a flash, they've got 2 points up on the board. Greg Thomas got his second from the place ball, and they're back to 10 points to 4 now.
9 points to 4, actually.
Or 9 points to 4, yeah. I think there's a
bit of confusion.
There's a confusion on the scoreboard, without a doubt. As
that last point seemed to be given to Sarsfields when it should be Castlegar.
Yeah. So it is 9-4 is the score, yeah. The line ball on this side of the field. That's to be taken by Adam Donoghue. Adam looking in field. There's a whole host of space in the 15 corner, indeed in the 13 corner, for corner forwards to rush out into it if he goes in that area. Donoghue then looks up, and suddenly Michael Hanlon made the run, but he didn't quite get the purchase on the line ball, and that allows Mark Gill to intercept it. Fine big man, hits the deck. Played Walsh Cup hurling with Galway in Henry Shefflin's first or second year. Picked up though, ball reclaimed well there by Adam Donoghue. Goes back then to Paddy McCorry, who threw it up right in front of the onrushing Oisin Connolly, who comes out and knocks it away from him. Now the scoreboard is right, 9-4.
Yeah, 9 points to 4, and line ball here to Sarsfields, and John Cooney is going to take this one. I'd say he'll try and launch it in towards his brother Kevin at the edge of the square. I
suppose after the first 2 games, Castlegar sending out a huge message, 230 to 214 winners over Ormore Mary. Sarsfields winning the tit for tat game, 20 points to Ardrahan's 19. But this second game night is huge in terms of result. A win here, and you're into the knockout stages.
Yeah, a win here, even a draw here for these 2 teams. You nearly say you definitely you're definitely into the knockout stages, and you would anticipate even at this stage that both those teams will be there or thereabouts in the championship. You know, they have good championship credentials as Sarsfields come on the attack again.
John Cooney, after a Castlegar attack broke down, and John Cooney from nearly back in New Win. He was back in his own half back line, but it was a ball that just didn't go to hand from Castlegar, so they were trying to work it through the lines. Broken up by Sarsfields, popped over the bar. 10 points to 4, 6 point lead with the breeze for Sarsfields as Castlegar come out from the back again, looking for Enda Concannon. Enda Concannon out in front of Kevin Hines, and that ball goes off the Castlegar man, and it will be a line ball on the far side of the field. 2023 they met Castlegar last year, won by 2. The year before, 2022, Sarsfields won by 6, and then in 2020 Sarsfields with a late Joseph Cooney penalty, or was it a free, won by 3-11 to 19 points. So there typically, Niall, is nothing between these 2.
No, there isn't, and you know, they've both won a couple of games in the times they played over the last 3 or 4 years. But Simon Thomas here tried to retrieve the situation.
He's doing very well, because he lost the hurl and then he kicks it out. He had it under control initially, lost it, then he lost the hurdle, but he did awfully well because it looked like his pocket was going to be robbed there. Line ball will ensue then to Sarsfields. So Dara Donoghue then placing the ball, looks upfield again, oceans of space in the 15 corner if he wants to go in there. John Cosgrove is going in there right now. Ball drops in that space, no one there though. give away a ball in a sense then. It goes to Simon Thomas, looks upfield, took a little bit of extra care to make sure he tried to use the ball, finding the brother, the younger one. That's Greg Thomas, looks in field, sees Oisin Connolly making the run, but Greg Thomas takes on the shot from out the country. Will it come inside the post? It won't. Oisin Connolly made a great run.
Yeah, good strike from Greg Thomas though. He just showed his aerial ability there, getting onto that ball. He's a huge man and a huge presence in that Castlegar attack. Joseph's injured. John Cooney striking from the sideline, striking it to the right hand side and wide though. There's a tendency with a breeze, Niall, that you take on those type of shots, isn't there? There is, but I suppose Castlegar have an extra man back in defence, and that takes them out of it essentially by going for those scores. And in fairness to John Cooney, normally he's pretty good at those. I'd say he'd have a fair high percentage rate from scoring from those long range shots from play. Like, he's hit 2 already so far, including one right out here in front of us. That one just didn't go over the bar. But the last few minutes now of the second half are important here. It's 10 points to 4, and 8 minutes left, which means that you'd hope from the game's perspective that to be tight enough going in at half time, because that win makes a big difference. Sarsfields are trying to build on that lead before half time. Castlegar just tried to keep it maybe as it is at the moment. So that line ball, Greg Thomas certainly seems to be the recipient of a lot of the Castlegar puck outs as Jack Coyne goes inside. Well defended though back there though by Sarsfields. Alex Kinnear on the ball. It's away from Leon and then strikes it upfield. Again, wants to get it in a bit faster into that forward line. 2 versus 3. The ball breaks. Might go into the path of Michael Hanlon. Good recovery from the Castlegar defence. I think they got a hook there that was vital. Goes off then to Mark Gill, and Mark Gill gets it out the country out to Donald Barry, and Donald Barry looking upfield now, see what his options are. There's not many, so he puts it over the head of John Cooney and goes on a run. Then he's tripped. That's going to be a free in and a chance there for Castlegar to avail of the free and maybe pop a point themselves. Yeah, a chance here. I'd say Donald was hoping that initially that John Cooney might just give him a slight nudge whereby he'd get the free. Didn't get it. The ball that played on eventually was fouled. I think it was by Alex Kinnear, and it's going to be a scoreable effort here again. I think the scoreboard is still wrong. Yeah, it's 10 points to 4 is the score actually. Yeah, and 10-4 I think is what 23 minutes played. Yeah. From the information we have, so it's Greg Thomas to stand over this free. So Greg Thomas striking outside the 45 metre line, striking in towards the post, and puts that one wide. They're the type of chances that are going to big. And what wides, Tally? What are we now? Yeah, I think it's 5-3 to Sarsfields in the wides, as Castlegar warming up by the way. I think Dylan Carroll is warming up for Castlegar as that ball goes long in towards John Cosgrove. Yes, indeed. John Cosgrove does well to keep the ball alive with 2 around him. Gets out to Paddy McCorry. Paddy McCorry on the ball. Tries to break inside into the central area. Is on the ball. Tries to get the pass back. Did he overcarry? No, he wins the free. Yeah, he was fortunate enough there. I don't know, did he throw it up and catch it in the middle of that as well and might have got away with it, but he's got the free in anyway. And it's a scoreable opportunity again for Kevin Cooney. Certainly is. As Kevin Cooney stands over, and often as we see, Niall, in these last few minutes before half time, if you can stretch the lead out, we're 6.5 minutes away from the break now, as Kevin Cooney puts it high, puts it over the bar. That's point number 5, and the score now is 11-4. 11-4, yeah. My reckoning anyway. Yeah. So then the puck out to be taken by Liam O'Reilly. Liam O'Reilly goes again to this side of the field. Castlegar bring a bit of variety to it though, but it's again picked up by Dara Donoghue. Dara Donoghue gets away from his man, flicks the ball out then to Niall Quinn. Niall Quinn, who's coming up the field, gets it off there then to the man wearing the number 19 jersey. That's Leon Kinnear. Leon Kinnear strikes it high, and Leon Kinnear puts it over the bar. The old adage of letting the ball do the work proves to be the case there, as Castlegar go to the bench. In comes Dylan Carroll, and Dylan Carroll is coming in, and the man that's been taken off is Daniel McNulty. Yeah, 12 points now for Sarsfields. We're getting some indications that it might be 3 points for Castlegar, but we'll find out from the referee at half time as to what the score is. But it looked as if that Greg Thomas has got 2 points from frees. Oisin Connolly got a point from play, and Jack Kine got a point from play, but we have to clarify that again. But there's 12 points on the board definitely for Sarsfields, and it's a free out to Castlegar. So it's either 12-3 or 12-4. We'll suss it as the ball is broken up the field. Well won again by Alex Kinnear. Alex Kinnear gets it inside, but the ball comes off the stick there, and that will be a line ball down the field. What's the thinking now of Sarsfields, Niall? Or Sarsfields will want to just keep it ticking before half time, but Castle will know that breeze is still worth
a fair volume of points, so they'll need to know that if it's either 12-4 or 12-3 right now, they don't need to get it any worse.
They can't. They don't want Sarsfields to extend that lead, so we have about 4 minutes to go here. They're just maybe batten up the hatches coming up to half time and keep that scoreline down, because if it goes out any further, if Sarsfields were to get a goal, it'll put a huge dent and make it more difficult obviously for Castlegar to come back in the second half. We saw the goal in the last game just came right on half time, and instead of maybe being 10 points in it, I think there was 13 points in it, and effectively the game was over at that stage.
Absolutely. As ball goes inside again, broken down. So this man who's getting a huge amount of ball, it has to be said, in this opening half, Dara Donohan, and again you can see the tactic from Sarsfields to send a long ball up the field, and Michael Hanlon tries to keep it alive. Good defensive play back there though by Castlegar. Come away with the ball to Mark Gill, and Mark Gill then drives a long ball downfield, and Cannon under this one with David Connaughton. Ball's still alive. Connaughton is onto it. Gets the hand pass away then to Alex Kinnear. And Alex Kinnear, long, high ball by Alex Kinnear from out the country. That's high. And that's over the bar. Lovely score again by Alex Kinnear. And suddenly it's 13 points on the board for the men of Sarsfields. 3. The scoreboard reads for Castlegar. 10-point lead. Decent lead now.
Yeah, they're getting good few scores from out the field as well. They're making good use of that victory. But you can see the loss of Ger Farrer is huge, I think, from a Castlegar perspective. In fairness, he's an exceptional player. And, he's out now. Be interesting to see can he come on at some stage in the game. But, there's a big lead now between them. 13 points to 3, as it says here now. But, it'll be interesting to see what happens as this game goes on.
Sarsfields have got a grip though, haven't they, in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the half in particular?
They have got a grip, yeah, and they've made full use of that wind in this first half. They've gone for shots from out the field. They've played a good few balls inside the full forward line, but most of the scores are coming from further out the field, and obviously the wind is huge in that context. Alex Kinnear's got a couple of those, Dara Dunhu's got 2 of them as well. John Cooney's got 2, so they're getting good scores from out the field as Kevin Cooney comes out to take this free.
So Kevin Cooney, a long distance out, well inside his own 65-metre line. He has it, exactly. High and over the bar. 6 points at the opening half from Kevin Cooney. 14 points on the board for Sarsfields. 3 that's on the scoreboard for Castlegar. As we said, we'll clarify whether it's 3 or 4 at half time as Castlegar goes short with this puck out and try to build it up from the back again. Garrett King was the man that was on the end of the sharp work out from the goalkeeper. Then they go into trouble though, go into a little bit of traffic, and Sarsfields win the break ball again. Alex Kinnear swivels and immediately pops the ball inside. You can see the game plan for Sarsfields, particularly in the last 10-15 minutes now. Get it inside and get it inside as early as you can. Yeah,
they've been trying to get inside, but they've also been very good from scoring from out the field. And as I said, their scores have come from out the field more so than that inside line in this first half.
Simon Thomas goes long. Taken again though by Dara Donoghue. Dara Donoghue's already got 2 in this game. Could he get a third? This one goes to the wrong side of the post and wide. But you can see from where he struck, Niall, he was well inside his own 65-metre line. So there's a major scoring zone here with the breeze.
Huge scoring zone. That's a huge wind. There's at least 10 points now between them in this game as Liam O'Reilly takes the puck out to the far side of the field.
Ball breaks, hits the deck. Ender Concannon is on it. Ender Concannon managed just to try and get the ball back. Cashel just trying to keep the ball alive there to Mark Gill. Mark Bill goes back to Simon Thomas. Simon Thomas being put under pressure by Kinnear, but does well. Gets the ball out to Mark Gill, and Mark Gill then tried to go up the line to Donald Barry. Goes out over the line.
Yeah, I think it got a deflection actually, so it's a line ball to Castlegar.
14 points to 13 that the scoreboard reads as Mark Gill goes up the far side of the field. Well won by Ender Concannon. Ender Concannon being swung around there by David Connaughton, but Concannon gets a ball inside, but there's no one back there. Ian Fox has slipped back into that +1 position in that play, and then plays a lovely ball up into space in front of Kevin Cooney. Kevin Cooney, first time he's really got a ball ahead of Cathal Ryan, and he gets away from him, and Jerry Kelly is deemed to have pulled him back for steps there.
Yeah, fortunate enough, in fairness, he did take steps, but his hurl was definitely being pulled as he was trying to get away, so it was hard for Kevin that occasion. But
that's the threat he has though.
Yeah, that's the threat he has.
Changes ball in around the house. Be a great time for a major for either team before the half-time whistle. Ball still alive in there, but Dara Donoghue's back there again. Good play from him from Sarsfields. 14 points to 3. 30 minutes gone on the clock as Simon Thomas is on it. Simon Thomas offloads, and Castlegar building the ball up the field again. Garrett King was the last man that was involved. Now, Donald Barry, who always has that energy and engine about him, comes in from the left-hand side. Donald Barry striking, and Donald Barry popping it over the bar. Good score by Donald Barry. For a guy that's been at the highest level of club hurling in Galway for so long, Niall, he's a great bit of energy about him. Good score.
Good score by him, in fairness, yeah. And, Sarsfields get on with the game quick, though, they go along.
Yeah, long ball, 2 men inside for Sarsfields, been marked though by 2. The ball is still alive, but Castlegar get the numbers back around it quickly. And the man that goes back to pick it up there is Cian Corcoran. He's been very deep. Gets it out into Darren Neary. Darren Neary looking upfield. 14 points to 4 for the board now. As it's taken by David Connaughton, and David Connaughton gets it off then to Paddy McCorry. Paddy McCorry on the ball in the centre forward channel. He could take the shot on here as he gets away from Jack Coyne, and Paddy McCorry fires it high, puts it over the bar. Paddy McCorry's first score of the contest, and he puts it over the bar. 15 points. Sarsfields will be happy with putting 15 points on the board in 31 minutes, Niall.
Yeah, Jerry Kelly's looking at the watch. I'd say it's half time now at this stage. It is half time.
Half time.
Yeah, and they've had a good first half. They have 15 points on the board. We just clarified just to make sure whether it's 4 points or 5 points for Castlegar at half time, but we do know that Sarsfields have 15 points on the board. They'll be really happy going in at half time. People were saying the game was going to be close. It could still be close, but there's a huge wind here, and in fairness to Castlegar, or to Sarsfields I should say, they have made full use of that wind in that first half and have been really impressive.
Yeah, I think the Castlegar secretary is just actually checking there with Conor Quinlan, one of the linesmen, so we'll verify that. But I think there's no doubt that the bigger pep talk is coming in the Castlegar dressing room at half time, Niall, in the sense though that they are trailing, but they do have breeze to come. Yeah,
they do have breeze to come, and I'm sure they'll be looking at that. And we've just seen the secretary here. Yeah, she's wondering as to what the score is. But anyway, they will have breeze to come in the second half, but they'll need to start working that scoreboard pretty quick in that second half.
So half time then here in Kenny Park in Athenry in the second of this double header. It's Sarsfields that lead at the break by 15 points to 4 on the scoreboard. Come back to us for the second half live here.
QFinancial.ie got the price and advice for me.
Pension auto-enrolment will soon be introduced. This means that all full-time workers over the age of 23 earning more than €20,000 per year must contribute to a pension, and employers must contribute. What are those pension entitlements, and is there independent advice available? The Q Financial Pension Team are experienced in advising both employees and employers of the positive and affordable options available for your situation. Call 091 421 900 or log on to qfinancial.ie.
Q Financial, qfinancial.ie.
Based in Clare, Galway, OMA Financial Services Limited, trading as qfinancial.ie, is an authorised independent pension intermediary regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
We redefine your relationship with energy, save you money, and get you on the path to a cleaner, greener future. JFW Renewables, your nationwide solar energy specialists. Call us today for a greener tomorrow.
blocked there by Niall Quinn, and suddenly then through the auspices of Adam Donoghue they have a huge shot from out the country from Sarsfields, and that gives you an idea of the pass though, and puts the team under pressure. Picked up then by Paddy McCorry. He goes back then to Alex Kinnear on the 65 metre line, striking high, and Alex Kinnear with John Cosgrove. They would be delighted to have him back this evening now.
Yeah, he's a good forward. In fairness, John Cosgrove, missed the last day out, but in fairness, Michael Hanlon came in the last day and played well.
Kieran Dolan quickly goes out to his wing back there. That's Dara Donoghue, and Dara Donoghue from a huge distance out puts it high, and Sarsfields do enough, but that scramble defence comes out though. An opportunity now for Castlegar to get Dara Donoghue, and he goes on a run, getting away from Sean Neary. Good play by Dara Donoghue. This point number 2 coming from the wing back. The umpire has a long look, and Ian Fox tries to play a clever ball inside, well read by Donald Barry though, who slips in and breaks to the other left-hander. That's John Cooney, and John Cooney from Jack Coyne got 3 points against Overmore. That's a great strike into the breeze. Super score by Jack Coyne, a guy who was part of a Galway
championship. They have good championship credentials as Sarsfields come on the attack again.
John Cooney after a Castlegar attack to Niall Quinn. Niall Quinn, who's coming up the field, gets it off there then to the man wearing the number 19 jersey. That's Leon Kinnear. Connaughton is onto it, gets the hand pass away then to Alex Kinnear, and Alex Kinnear, strong high ball by Alex Kinnear from out the country. That's high, and that's now Donald Barry, who always has that energy and engine about him, comes in from the left hand side. Donald Barry striking, and Connaughton and David Connaughton gets it off then to Paddy McCorry. Paddy McCorry on the ball in the centre forward channel. He could take the shot on here as he gets away from Jack Coyne, and Paddy McCorry stop. Goes wide. Kieran Dolan quickly goes out to his to Jack Coyne. Jack Coyne got 3 points against Overmore. That's a great strike into the breeze. Super score by Jack Coyne. And you're welcome back here to Kenny Park for the second half of this Senior Hurling Championship Group 4 game between Sarsfields and Castlegar, where we confirm that the half-time score was 15 points to 4. Castlegar out on the field back early, Niall. In a situation like this, you would assume that the situation would be as the situation right now, people in the crowd are still confused by the fact that the score has been different, but it looks like, Niall, that it's 15 points to 4. That's what the referee confirmed at half time.
Yeah, the referee has confirmed it's 15 points to 4. We thought it was 15 points to 5, but it's been confirmed that it's 4 points that Castlegar have at the moment. I think it was Jack Coyne's score that looked to be a really good point that hasn't been given, but you just hope that it wouldn't be a point between them at half time. We see that Enda Concannon is off the Castlegar team, by the way, and interesting to see who's in for Castlegar for the start of the second half. I thought Dean Higgins going in at half time, he could be in for Castlegar at the start of the second half, but it's 15 points to 4 that's on the scoreboard. It's 15 points to 4 the referee has, and that's the official score at the moment.
So we'll go with that as the teams come back out. Interesting to see Sarsfields whether they kept Castlegar waiting or not, Niall, or whether maybe Matt Murphy had Castlegar out early after maybe reading the right act a little bit. But certainly right now, with the breeze behind them in the second half, you would expect Castlegar to start making inroads. Yeah,
that could be, they have the wind in the second half, and be interesting to see what happens here. We saw in this first game that Turlock took complete control in the second half, but Castle have wind advantage in the second half as Dean Higgins comes on the attack.
Dean Higgins sends that ball in, but it goes to the wrong side of the post, and why Dean Higgins, another good player, former Galway underage player as well, Niall, who was well capable of bringing the battle to Sarsfields. But Sarsfields, on the other hand, they will be more than happy with their situation.
Well, they just need to keep plugging a couple of points here and there now just to keep the scoreboard ticking over for the second half.
Absolutely. As they come on the attack, Michael O'Hanlon on the ball in the right corner forward position. Interesting to see how they'll play it tactically in this second half. Darren Neary comes back and does well to rob that ball. Darren Neary played with the Galway under-20s against Dublin in that Leinster semi-final earlier on in the year. Does awful well to make headway there. It goes the would-be challenge there from Adam Donoghue, and Jerry Kelly will go in then, and there's going to be a free and a little bit of afters then between them.
Yeah, a little bit of laughter's gone on, a bit of pushing and shoving and so on. But it's a free to Castlegar anyway. It's the upshot of it.
Certainly is. And I suppose from Castlegar's viewpoint, Niall is right. The scoreboard there's a 10-point margin, so you just keep chipping away from the Sarsfields viewpoint.
It's an 11-point margin, but it's gone up to 5 points again on the scoreboard.
Is it?
So there was no score in the start of the second half. The last effort went a mile wide from Dean Higgins. But the scoreboard
has changed again. There's confusion here all over the place, isn't
but
it?
Anyway,
it's 15-5. We'll stay with the scoreboard, which is now 15-5. Dean Higgins striking from out the country, and Dean Higgins gets this one over the bar. There's no doubt about that one. The white flag goes up. All we don't want here tonight is this game to come down to a point.
Yeah, Dean Higgins put that one over the bar. So we'll see what the scoreboard 15-6 it says here now, but we're not quite sure what the score is. But anyway,
as John Cooney lets that ball inside, looking for Michael O'Hanlon. Ball breaks down. Castlegar a little bit more purpose about them in the second half. Garage King brings the ball out, but it only goes as far as John Cosgrove. John Cosgrove turns nicely, gets away from two would-be tackles, gets the hand pass off to O'Hanlon. Cosgrove was taken out. We're playing the advantage. Michael O'Hanlon strikes. He goes wide, but I said we'll go back to the free. And as we were saying, from Francis Madden's point of view, they just need to keep the scoreboard, get the odds score, keep the pressure, probably slow it down a little bit in the second half. And there's a lot of experience in that Sarsfields team, Niall. I suppose we just have to look at that in the last few years. They won it back in 2015, Sarsfields, but in the last 9 years they've been in 4 county semi-finals. They've been in the last 2 semi-finals in a row. So despite the fact they're without Joseph Cooney, Darren Morrissey, Darren Murphy, they know what this game is about, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do, and they've a lot of good young lads coming through, as we said, and they've been there and thereabouts, in the championship. They just haven't got over the line. They played Thomas's in the last 2 county semi-finals, and they were beaten by Thomas's in both of those games, and we know how good St. Thomas's have been, and they've been the county champions for the past 6 years. But Sarsfields, they eked out a result against Ardrahan. A tough game. They won it by a point. Castlegar, on the other hand, beat Ord more comfortably. So you know, you wouldn't know how teams would be. Like, you know, was
you're sitting on that for 2 weeks.
You're sitting on that big, massive win, and people saying how good you've been and so on. You know, and Sarsfields just about got over the line. So they were coming in from 2 different environments. And in fairness to Castlegar, you know, they've been really good. Sarsfields have been really good as Kevin Cooney puts that one over the bar.
Sharp puck out, then O'Reilly goes route one. Huge from the 1-2 from O'Reilly, goes wide with the 1-2 played with his defender in that instance. So that gives you an idea now of the breeze. 16 points for Sarsfields thanks to Kevin Cooney's free. 6 points for Castlegar. Still a 10-point margin between them. As out of defence there comes Dara Donoghue. David Connaughton, a little bit of went astray with the pass, intercepted by Greg Thomas, and now Castle come again. Darren Neary, suddenly there's a little bit of space in front of him. Will he be happy to pep the ball over the bar? He will. Dara Neary puts it over the bar. A little bit of purpose about Castlegar there, Niall, and for one fleeting second it looked like he could have brought it on further.
Yeah, and there was a guy just inside him as well, but you know, he put it over the bar, got the score, and just all they need to do now is, you know, get the next point and the next point again after that, just to reduce that deficit that they have at the moment.
I wonder, could Gerard Farher play any part in this game?
Yeah, it's hard to know. I don't know how the extent of his injuries, but we said in the warm-up that he didn't look to be in that warm-up, and you know, it was no surprise when he didn't start.
Good work here through the lines by Castlegar. Breaks to Simon Thomas. Simon Thomas was well hooked up by John Cosgrove. He goes back with the pass back to Dean Higgins. Dean Higgins looks inside. Dean Higgins, can he get his second score from 3 shots? He does. Puts it high, puts it over the bar. Good score by Dean Higgins.
Yeah, he's a good player, you know, in fairness to him. He's been a really good forward for Castlegar in the past. I think he played at wing back this time last year and played really well in it, but he's got 2 good scores, and he's a shooter, you see, Sean, and he's able to score from out the field. And you know, if you're a good shooter, a good striker, the ball from out that field with that wind, you know, there's always a chance you'll get a score or 2.
Well broken down by John Cooney into the path of Paddy McCorry. Paddy McCorry back into Alex Kinnear. Alex Kinnear outside the 45 metre line, striking off the left on one leg, but it just goes to the wrong side of the post and wide. 8 points for Castlegar, then 16 points for Sarsfields. 4 minutes into the second half. Margin down to his long puck out ball again in around the danger zone.
Yeah, Oisin Connolly tries to win it there, but good defensive play by David Connaughton. Yeah,
David Connaughton on the ball. Ball comes across the 20 metre line, and Connaughton gets it again at the second attempt, and out he comes with the ball glued. Again, the difference for Sarsfields in the second half, they kind of probably have to run more ball, particularly out of defence. John Cooney goes a lovely ball in front of the inviting space for Michael O'Hanlon. Under pressure though from Garroge King. Hanlon does well, but King does well to force him out the field as well. Garroge King coming away, gets it off then to Michael O'Hanlon, who did well to hold off the challenge and striking off the left. Oh, just taken down from the crossbar there by the goalkeeper. That's Liam O'Reilly, and Liam O'Reilly gets it out then to Jack Coyne, and Jack Coyne gets it up the field to Dean Higgins again, and Dean Higgins on the ball in the wing back position drives a long high ball in around the danger zone. Castlegar tried to keep the ball alive, but it's well dealt with back there by Niall Quinn. It looks like it's going to be an aerial bombardment in that second half. Leon Kinnear gets it out then to David Connaughton. David Connaughton in the number 6 position gets the ball upfield towards Paddy McCorry. Castlegar though do well to break the ball out. When it comes out though to the man wearing the 21 jersey, as the ball goes inside from Kevin Cooney. In fact, it was Evan Cox that laid the ball there into Kevin Cooney. Kevin Cooney comes out the field, goes all the way across, super pass to Alex Kinnear. Alex Kinnear off the left, striking in towards the goal, and Alex Kinnear puts it high, puts it over the bar. Point number 3 from Alex Kinnear, superbly crafted by Sarsfields. Kevin Cooney with the ball across the field, took out an awful lot of players as that long ball out of defence again goes wide at the other end of the field. Yeah,
good score by Alex Kinnear, and as we keep saying, just Cashel Sarsfields just need to, you know, tip in scores over the bar, and that's Alex Kinnear's 3rd point I think of the match. Castlegar be a bit disappointed that long range one went down the field there, you know, it carried too much purchase and it went wide. But Evan
Cox, Kevin Cooney set it up well though.
Yeah, it was a great score by the last score from Alex Kinnear, his 3rd point as we said, but 17 points to 8 now, you know, it's a 9-point lead, so it is.
Yeah.
John
so
Cooney
the
coming out.
Is right.
We've clarified that it's 17 points to 8.
17 points to 8. As John Cooney will take this line ball on the halfway line, looking in field. Simon Thomas looks like he's the +1, trying to add protection to the Castlegar defensive line. Nice ball up the line though to Michael O'Hanlon. Michael O'Hanlon taking on Garroge King. Garroge King fouls him, And that type of work by a corner forward, Niall, playing against the breeze is invaluable, isn't it?
Invaluable, yeah. And
if winning the free, setting up a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, he won the ball first, took on his man, was fouled, and it gives a scoring opportunity to Kevin Cooney. And he's the way he hits the ball. This is a favourable side for him as he's taken this free for Sarsfields. And he's been really, really good at them, and it's great to see him back. He was a huge loss to Galway last year, and he'll be a big player for Galway, you would think, next year. Whoever's the Galway manager, but that one goes between the posts. Good scoring in. Yeah,
Kevin Cooney is the man. Puts it over the bar. That stretches the lead out to 18-8. Jerry Kelly says, "Hold on a minute," because we weren't ready to recommence so quickly. Would you think that Castlegar will persist with the long aerial bombardment in with the breeze now?
It's interesting.
Riley's puck out is huge.
Yeah, he's a huge puck out. They might do so that. They may be instructed to do that with that win. But in fairness to, with Sarsfields have built the lead. See, it's very, very hard to come back, irrespective of what you do. There's a big, massive lead there. And in fairness to Ian Fox, he guided that ball up the field. Superb catch, and Sarsfields have another scoring opportunity here.
Back to John Cooney. John Cooney off the left, just goes to the wrong side of the post and wide. But as you said, great catch by Ian Fox. Ian Fox now has just drifted back into a kind of a deep lying 6 role. As the puck out from Liam Riley goes long again, I'd say they're trying to find Greg Thomas under some of these.
They have 4 in at the full forward line, Castlegar at the moment now, just trying to get onto a break or to catch a ball out of the air, to maybe to create a goal scoring opportunity, because they probably need one at this stage.
Alex Kinnear turns Sarsfields into the attack, and 1-on-1 inside here. Kevin Cooney breaks it down to Michael Hannon. The ball is still alive, but good defensive play by Castlegar. Garroge King looking steady on the ball, comes out, uses it, puts it into space. Evan Cox was deemed to have fouled Donald Barry in that instance, and that'll be a free upfield. Other thing now, 8 minutes gone in the second half. The margin still at 10, but plenty of time. We know how quickly a game of hurling can change. If you get a goal, a bit of momentum, scores can come quickly.
Exactly, yeah. There's 10 points between them. If Greg Thomas could point this, it's down to 9. If they win the next puck out and all of a sudden it ends up on the net, it's down to 6. So things can change very, very quickly. But I'm just looking at that ball that went in there to Kevin Cooney. He laid it down beautifully towards Michael Hannon. But if he's well able to catch a ball out of the air as well. So if a ball goes in there 1-on-1, it could be a goal scoring opportunity for Sarsfields just as easy as one for Castlegar.
So Greg Thomas then to take the free. Greg Thomas has the height, but that one tails to the wrong side of the post again and wide. Castlegar quarter-finalists twice in the last 6 years. They were in the quarter-final last year. The team, of course, with the most senior titles in Galway, and their last one was back in 1984. Greg Thomas sees that free going wide then, so then Sarsfields come out short. Dara Donoghue.
He's played well, isn't he, at wing back? In fairness, Dara Donoghue has been really impressive.
He's been more than impressive now. He's got 2 points in that opening half as well. And if you're Francis Madden, Niall, you've ticked up to nearly the 10th minute of the second half. The score, the margin of your lead is still 10 points. It'll be one box ticked, won't it, in terms of 1/3 of the second half dealt with?
Yeah, I'm sure they looked at, we'll go 10-minute spells or whatever, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, to keep the score the same, essentially keep 10 between them after 10 minutes, and after 15 minutes, after 20 minutes. So they'll have, as you said, one box ticked at this stage as Kevin Cooney goes a long way out to take this free.
Yeah, Kevin Cooney back inside his own half of the field, puts that to the wrong side of the post. Interesting now, Keane Corcoran has been brought out to the half forward line. Greg Thomas is going to go in to man the edge of the square, it looks like. Puck out.
And Dylan Carroll is another big man that's gone in there at the edge of the square as well as they win this one.
Yeah, Darren Neary on it, goes back with the pass to Dean Higgins. Dean Higgins goes for a shot. So from the minute it left the stick, it was always going to the wrong side and wide. But again, for a good striker, Niall, if you can get it on target here, there are chances to be taken out of the field. I know Castlegar are going long, but there's probably as many scoring opportunities outside, isn't there?
Yeah, they haven't, you saw Sarsfields in the first half, they were getting scores from more central positions really from out the field. Castlegar's ones have been sort of, out near the sideline and things like that, and that was one manifestation of it there from Dean Higgins, but they have to get their shooters on the ball. They have to try and get the ball to the guys who know that they're going to score, and possibly from central positions really.
Donald Barry gets it back from Simon Thomas, then he goes long, goes inside trying to get Ian Fox's drift back there, but the ball is picked up though by Oisin Connolly, who's well beaten to by Kevin Heinze, and Heinze showing leadership there for Sarsfields, winning the hard ball off to Connaughton. Connaughton goes to Alex Kinnear, and Alex Kinnear inside his own 65-metre line plays a lovely ball from the 7 to the 13 position, crossfield diagonal to Michael O'Hanlon, lays it off then to the runner who's John Cosgrove. John Cosgrove looking for support, tries to go back and finds Paddy McCorry. These are all young guys involved in this mood, and Paddy McCorry wins the free. Cathal Ryan judged to have fouled The Sarsfields man, well worked score, Niall, used the ball well, got it to the right man at the right time, and again ended up with a scoring opportunity, which is a free.
Yeah, tap over free here now for Kevin Cooney. Harsh enough free, I thought myself, but it's a free that's been given, and it's one that's going to be put over the bar. But in fairness to Sarsfields, John Cosgrove and Paddy McCorry worked that free very, very well as Kevin Cooney puts it between the posts.
Yeah, so Kevin Cooney, point number 9. So we've 12 minutes into the second half. 19 points for Sarsfields, 8 points for Castlegar, 1-2 between Garroch King and Liam O'Reilly. Liam O'Reilly goes into the Twin Towers. In there, Greg Thomas goes up, and Greg Thomas does well to catch it. Under pressure from 3 Sarsfields men, he's won the free. So that one worked, Niall.
Yeah,
switch in.
Be a scoreable opportunity here. Should put it between the posts as he stands over this free.
And just funny, with the big breeze in the 2 games so far, we've only seen 1 goal, isn't it? There was 1 goal in the Turlough Captahagal game and no goals so far yet here.
No goals so far, yeah, and there hasn't been, in a couple of the games I've been at in the championship, there hasn't been that many goals really. You know that you would think the teams haven't been scoring too many of them, but they're quite happy to take scores from out the field, and the scores have been big. You know, Sarsfields have 19 points scored now already. Castlegar have 9 at this stage, but if you look at the first game, Turlough got 129 or something and they scored 331 the first day. Sarsfields got 18 or 19 points the first day. They got 19 points again today, so teams are happy enough, I'd say, just to be, you know, plugging. If you hit 24, 25 points, you know, you're in with a right chance.
Yeah, Sarsfields hit 20 points against Ardrahan to win the last one. They've already on 19 with only 13 minutes of the second half played here. They cleverly worked the ball out again. Ian Fox is having a nice game for Sarsfields now, I have to say. Gets the lovely ball inside again to Michael O'Hanlon. Hanlon taking on Garroch King. This time he decides to strike and shoot. It gets inside the post. That's a super score by Michael O'Hanlon, as you called, Niall. Excellent score, and there was a bit of variety. I think the last time he took on Garroch King, this time he took on the shot. Excellent score.
Yeah, Michael Hanlon with a really good score there as Castlegar go
long again, won by Greg Thomas. He's inside. Greg Thomas being pulled around. Greg Thomas with the shot. That flies over the bird, but we're going back for the free.
I think it was blocked by Darragh Donoghue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I was just watching Jerry Kelly went back for the free anyway.
Yeah,
but he's a threat in there when he catches.
Oh yeah, massive threat. He's a huge man, and you know, caught that ball out of the air, and it's going to be a free in, and obviously he's going to tap it over the bar here, back to 10 points again. But he is a massive threat. If you could get away on any occasion at all, you know, there's always a scoreable opportunity if he gets onto the ball, because he is a huge man in there.
Lining up this free, if I didn't know better, I'd say he was thinking of going low, but he'd surely just pop it over the bar outside the 20 metre line. He put a kind of a spin on the ball, but it went over the bar. 4 points from Greg Thomas.
Yeah, he did put a spin on it. If it had been a bit lower as well, it would have been very difficult to save, because there was that spin on it that would have made it difficult for any goalkeeper, for any defence.
10 points the margin, 20 points plays 10, as Kieran Dolan puts the hurdle up to his eyes to shield the sun, and then takes the puck out. Lovely ball into the hand of Paddy McCorry, who gets away from Sean Neary. Then Paddy McCorry takes on the shot, getting away from Simon Thomas. That's a super score by McCorry. The signal goes up, and McCorry, excellent score, excellent puck out by Kieran Dolan, hit grass in front of McCorry, who got away from his man, puts it over the bar, and that's what Sarsfields. That's the game plan for the second half, Niall. They're doing it perfectly. They lead 21-10. Long ball again from the puck out towards Greg Thomas, might break inside. I think there has to be a bit more variety to the Castlegar game, hasn't there, than what we're seeing?
Yeah, it's very route one, but the last 2 points that Sarsfields have got have been superb scores from 2 young players. Michael Hanlon the first one, and then Paddy McCorry the second one, both from this side of the field. And you know, they're really talented players, and you know, we've spoken about Paddy McCorry before. He's one for the future really, from a Galway perspective. You know, he's a supremely talented player, and Michael Hanlon another really good player, and you know, he played really well last week or 2 weeks ago, got 3 points. He's got another one today now, like, you know, this is his first real year playing senior championship hurling for Sarsfields, and they'll be happy the way things are going.
You'll have the county panel half picked for the way you're going, you know. As Sarsfields come on the attack again, lovely spin and turn there as the ball worked off. John Cosgrove was nearly on the receiver, but Adam Donoghue, lovely spin again. Clever usage of the ball, Niall, where if you put ball in space in front of good forwards with good touch in lovely conditions, I know there's a strong breeze, but the pitch is in good nick.
But they're also making it difficult for the defenders, Sean. They're taking on the defenders. You know, they're drawing the fouls. Like if they were happy enough just to get on the ball and go back the field, they wouldn't be half as effective. Yeah. And like, these are tap over frees for Kevin Cooney, but the work that the likes of John Cosgrove, the work that Michael Hanlon, Paddy McCorry, all those guys are doing by taking on the Castlegar defence, they're creating those frees that he's tapping over the bar. And if they weren't willing to take on their man, they wouldn't be getting those scoring opportunities.
Killian Callaghan, of course, is a big loss to Castlegar as well. Matty Murphy, as we said, a serial winner at minor level for Galway down to the years. Also managed Gore to county championship success. Lovely interception there by Donald Barry, nearly broke through, but Sarsfields get the numbers back again, and Niall Quinn is on the ball. Sarsfields leading by 22 points to 10. We have played 16 and a half minutes of the second half as David Connaughton plays another ball into space, looking for and asking Kevin Cooney to get out there. Sean Neary and Cathal Ryan are the two Castlegar defenders. The ball goes close to the sideline, goes out over the line ball for Sarsfields. Seems to be the signal from, or no, it's from Castlegar. Conor Quinlan has this flag up, but again that work rate, but again the ball into space, it gives the forward a chance to at least make it a 50-50 challenge or keep the ball alive, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they're very difficult
they're
balls.
Throwing it in.
They're very difficult balls for defenders. If the forward's out in front, and it's a lovely low ball played in, there isn't a whole lot you can really do, as a Castlegar break away here, but they lose possession
Conor
again.
Ryan had the hard work done, and then he lost the grip on the ball. Ball goes back into a ruck again, won by Oisin Conley. He was no mean footballer. I think he's an All-Ireland Féile football medal with Clare Galway, if I'm right, and he showed a bit of that skill there. But again, Sarsfields go back to win the hard ball. And Alex Kinnear this time launches the ball up into space again. Gone way out by the dimensions of the pitch and gone out over the sideline.
Yeah.
18 minutes gone now practically in the second half. 22 points for Sarsfields, 10 points for Castlegar. No doubt whatsoever about it that Sarsfields are in a great position here. Yeah,
they're going to have 4 points on the board unless something magical happens from a Castlegar perspective in the last 12 minutes. They have been really, really good. They're in a good position at the moment, and they'll just want to keep the scoreboard ticking over now, getting a few points here and there. If they get the win today, it's basically 1 foot in the quarter-finals, and teams want to finish top of their group because you get that break, and as you said, with injuries and things like that, if the likes of Sarsfields could finish top of their group without playing the likes of Joseph Cooney and Darren Morrissey and these guys, you're giving them 4 or 5 more weeks to get back into position to play in this year's championship.
You certainly are, as Leon Kinnear puts that ball in again to Michael O'Hanlon, who again has won it, lays it out to Paddy McCorry, who has now slipped inside the corner back. Good play. He's inside Martin Connolly, but Martin Connolly in fairness did enough to get back. They might have got enough pressure on the striking action of Paddy McCorry to force the Sarsfields man to put it wide. Yeah,
put it wide. That's 10 wides for Sarsfields, I think. 8 for Castlegar, but he just did enough there. But good defensive play again. It's the Castlegar go route one once more.
Yeah, it's fairly common. This in towards Greg Thomas. Sarsfields get the number around him, whirls onto the break ball, which is often more important than the actual contestant of the ball itself. Free out. Niall, we have 11 minutes left. Do Cashel probably need to bring a bit of variety here?
They do, yeah. In one sense, like Castlegar or Sarsfields have defenders the likes
they
of
have
Kevin
the numbers
Hines
back under, haven't they? Yeah,
and they have the experience back there. Kevin Hines, Niall Quinn and all these guys have been around for a good number of years, and like those high balls, and you're going to win a percentage of them, but Sarsfields have dealt comfortably with most of those. As we see, there's a sub coming on. I think is it John Cosgrove that's coming off.
It's John Cosgrove, for
he's just
Jeffrey Lawless that's in.
Back from injury, and I think there's an under-20 semi-final during the week as well that he'll be playing in against is it Clarenbridge on Wednesday evening?
Yeah, I think you're serving 2 masters here, but they'll be delighted to have got all but the last 11 minutes of the second half into John Cosgrove. He goes off as his team lead by 22 points to 10. Stalemate situation out over the stand, under the stand I should say. Kevin Cooney gets onto the break ball, has a shot, might get inside to Jeff Lawless. Garrett King does well to defend that though, and does well to hold off the bigger man. Good play by King, gets it off then to Sean Neary. Sean Neary looks upfield, and Sean Neary strikes a huge ball from his own 45 metre line that tails out to the wrong side of the post and wide.
Yeah, I suppose from Sarsfield's perspective, they were going over the bar in the first half. That long range effort from Castlegar, Sean Neary just goes to the wrong side of the post, and when your luck is out, and unfortunately for Castlegar at the moment, they're just that bit behind today, and Sarsfields have been really sharp in fairness.
Onto the ball is the man with number 6 on his back, John Cooney, plays in the forward line, plays a lovely ball again into the corner forward position. Jeffrey Lawless gets onto it just after coming in, again comes out with the ball. They want to keep the ball, comes out to Adam Donoghue strikes, but that one goes to the wrong side of the post and wide. Last 10 minutes, we need a bit of firecracking from Castlegar, don't we, Niall?
Yeah, and again they go along with this puck out as they try to work the ball up towards Greg Thomas, but again there's numbers there from Sarsfield's point of view, and they come away with it once more.
Certainly are, as Alex Kinnear is on the ball. Alex Kinnear sending that ball across field. For once it doesn't find a white jersey. Picked up there by Martin Connolly. At half time, Castlegar had either 4 or 5 points on the board. They now have 10. Sarsfields had 15 points on them, now on 22. So Sarsfields are doing their share in the second half into the breeze. as down over that ball there again goes Kevin Hines. Ball very close to the sideline. Niall Quinn goes in there. Won eventually by the Castlegar man. I think that was Cian Corcoran. But the referee is going to indicate, I think, that he's going to throw it in. You feel like Castlegar need a goal, Niall?
They need a goal at this stage, maybe even two
just
of them.
Just to ignite
the game in some way or other, like 12 points is a big lead that Sarsfields have at this stage in the game.
Martin Conley does well to catch in there, gets it off to Simon Thomas. Simon Thomas goes back then to Jack Coyne. Jack Coyne goes through 3 Sarsfields players. That's the kind of run he needs. Then there's he gets a late hit, and that will be
the yellow card anyway, I'd say.
A chat, I would say.
Ian Fox is down injured as well there now.
Yeah.
But definitely, I'd say yellow card here for Niall Quinn.
Yeah. The old philosophy that he wasn't going to pass, I think. And then from Sarsfields' point of view, as you say, Niall, that there's 8 minutes of normal time left. This is about game management. You're leading by 12. You're playing into a big breeze. You just don't want anything to ignite Castlegar now at this stage, do you?
Yeah, you don't want. And I see Ger Farragher going out there. Obviously, he won't see any part in the game.
Yeah, he's a huge loss.
He's a massive loss to them, his leadership qualities alone, and he's obviously a guy. If he was out there with that wind, if he was getting ball and hand pass to him around the middle of the field, he'd have a fair percentage of shots going over the bar, you would think, because he's just a beautiful striker of the ball, and he's a massive loss to Castlegar.
Yeah, see the Sarsfields down there. The man is down there. Matt Murphy, the Castlegar manager, has made his way out there as well. That Ian Fox, I think, that's getting the...
Ian Fox getting the treatment there as well. Yeah, I think the referee Jerry Kelly has gone in
to talk to
and see what happened there.
Yeah. So then 7 minutes of normal time left, 12 points between them, 22 points for Sarsfields, 10 points for Castlegar. The controversy about was there a point extra at half time, Niall? Was it 4 or 5? It seemed that that was clarified by the scoreboard going to 5 at half time as we welcome back our listeners to Galway Bay FM, but that point hasn't been the difference so far, because this has been very impressive.
Oisin Conley, by the way, is getting at least a yellow card here for that foul on Ian Fox. Jerry Kelly speaking to him. It's a yellow card as well for Oisin Conley.
So 2 yellows there. But just to bring people up to speed, very impressive from Sarsfields.
They've been very, very good. They have scored some superb points. They had a winner in the first half, 15 points to 5 up at half time. They scored some great scores from John Cooney, Alex Kinnair, Paddy McCarthy, Dara Donoghue, the wing back, went up and scored 2 superb points as well. And in the second half, they've consolidated their position. Their last 2 points have been superb scores from Michael Hanlon and Paddy McCarthy. Castlegar, as we know, lining out without Ger Farragher today. He's a huge loss, but
Killian Callahan too is a loss.
Killian Callahan is out, but then of course you look at Joseph Cooney's not playing, and you also look at the fact that Darren Morrissey is not playing as well. So Darren Murphy and those guys as Sarsfields bring on a sub. I think there's a sub coming on. Kenneth Cooney is on. I think Ian Fox is the man that's gone off, just that injury he's after picking up.
Matt Murphy and I think it's
Noel
Kelly having a chat on the line. Greg Thomas the second time hits it's a free, comes back off the combination of the goalkeeper and the crossbar. We've another bit of controversy now because the ball, did it go over the bar from Dylan Carroll?
Yeah, I thought it was wide. I'm not quite sure with BC, in fairness, Greg Thomas took a really good free.
Yeah, that's the second time he's done that. He's put a spin on it.
Put a spin on it.
That dips.
Gone wide. I thought it was wide from my vantage point anyway, from Dylan Carroll. But 12 between them. Sarsfields will be really, really happy. They've put in a really good performance, and to be 12 points up on Castlegar, and Castlegar coming in with that big victory over Ardmore Mary. Sarsfields have really laid down a marker today.
Leon Kinnear does well to win the puck out, lets it in again, which has been the trademark of the second half performance of Sarsfields, letting that ball in early. Probably both halves in fairness now. They did it with the wind as well, as Donald Barry goes back to the full back line, gets the ball out then to Mark Gill for Castlegar. Mark Gill goes off then to the left corner back, that is Martin Conley, and Martin Conley goes long. 22 points Sarsfields, 10 points for Castlegar. Castlegar putting up 230 to 224 in their victory over Ardmore Mary. And of course for tomorrow, that one, the other game of this group, Ardmore Mary and Ardrahan, will now see an opportunity too now.
Yeah, like whoever wins that game, it's just 2 points on the board all of a sudden, and you're back,
real championship.
You're back in the championship really, and it gives you a platform to build on. And then if Ardrahan win that game, they play Castlegar or in the last match as well, then so it's all to play for. So if Ardmore Mary won it, it would mean that there's a big last round of games in this group in the senior championship is Dara Donoghue comes on the attack for Sarsfields.
Yeah, the long ball from out the country goes to the left hand side and wide. It's Niall, we played 26.5 minutes, 22 points to 10 Castlegar down. It's petering out from a Castlegar point of view, isn't it?
Yeah, they have been, in fairness, they have been dominated today, in fairness. But you see that Sarsfields had the wind in the first half
and put the scores on the board.
Scores on the board. Turlock in the first game won the toss and played with wind advantage, put the scores on the board. So it was very, very hard to come back. All you need to do when you have the wind in the first half and you build a big lead, all you need to do is tap over a couple of points. Even if you lose the second half by 3 or 4 points, you're still 7 or 8 points in front,
and you're putting pressure on the other team to get you back.
Yeah, so every score you get is nearly worth 2 against the team that has to come back into it.
Lovely pick up there by Alex Kinnear under pressure, and then he sends the ball out over the line, but they won't mind that whatsoever. Group 4 of the Senior Hurling Championship, as Martin Conley goes short with the line ball, goes to Sean Neary, then he picks out his fullback Cathal Ryan, who's now out in the 6th position. Again he goes long in towards the edge of the square. Gillian Carroll puts up the hand, but it just doesn't get into his hand, and it's tidied up well by Kieran Dolan, the goalkeeper. Gets it out to Leon Kinnear. There's a very polished look to Sarsfields, isn't there? They've been hurling with a great composure, haven't they? Yeah,
they've been really good, and every player on the field is able to hurl, and they're doing the right things. Even there, Jeffrey Lawless got on the ball, didn't try and score himself, tried to work the ball across the field to Adam Donoghue, just didn't work out, but they seem to be doing the right things with the ball out the middle of the field. They get the ball to the man in the best position, and they're working it here again.
Kevin Cooney from the 65 metre line, that'll be some score if it goes over. It doesn't, tails off to the wrong side of the post, but more importantly it ensures that Castlegar are not getting a score back, if you like. Nearly 28 minutes gone in the second half. 22 points for Sarsfields, 10 points for Castlegar as Liam O'Reilly.
Cathal Dillon is in now for Sarsfields. I think he missed the first round game. He's back from injury as well, so again
their hand is strengthening,
isn't it? Has been wing back the past couple of years, and he comes in place of Michael Handon.
Jeffrey Lawless looks like he's gone in as a one-man for forward line. Liam O'Reilly, the goalkeeper, guess what he's going to do? He's going to go long. He hits the opposing 20 metre line with that. Ball won by Oisin Conley, or it's not.
Greg Thomas.
Yeah, Greg Thomas trying to get it off, but they've shepherded Greg Thomas well, Niall, haven't they? In the sense they've got the numbers around him. He is a threat, there's no doubt. He's one aerial ball in there, but they probably haven't got the return they wanted, as Kenneth Cooney is on that ball. Only after coming in for Sarsfields. Kicks it back into space, picked up then by Paddy McCorry. This guy has a future, and he plays a lovely crossfield ball again to Jeffrey Lawless. One of 2 twins, as a man told me once he'd have to, because there's only 2 twins in it, Sean, but you know what I mean. As Kevin Cooney, lovely bit of pace going through the heart of the Castlegar defence. Great flick away though by Sean Neary. Good play by both teams there. But again, Sarsfields are playing the game right now where they want to in the Castlegar half of the field. Again, Castlegar go long looking for Greg Thomas, who's got away from 2 men. Greg Thomas coming in on the 20 metre line, winds up with a shot. It's in the back of the net. Yes, a goal by Greg Thomas. A slip in the Sarsfields defence, and Greg Thomas gets the goal that Castlegar need. You would imagine, Niall, 29-27 gone in the clock. Is it a case of too late, or is
probably
there a comeback
starting? Too little, you think, at this stage. But a great finish must be said from Greg Thomas. He got 1-on-1 there, 1 possession, took on his man and rifled into the back of the net. There was no chance for Kieran Dolan there.
22 points to 110, and as we often make the point, Niall, even on the Hurling Chat podcast, the amount you lose by is important as well.
Yeah, it is indeed, considering you could have
Castlegar are coming again here.
You could end up with 3 teams in the same amount of points in this group, so every score is vital.
Jack Coyne on the ball in the left corner forward position. Is he fouled? Plays on, he goes, takes on 3 players, gets the pass off to Mark Gill. Mark Gill runs into pressure though. Back there is Alex Kinnear. Evan Cox is also in there for Sarsfields, and the man that's coming out with the ball is John Cooney, and John Cooney is swung around, and that's a free out. And from both teams' perspective, 30 minutes gone on the clock. The goal from Castlegar, you see it kind of lifted them some degree, but you could also see that Sarsfields just wanted to make sure they don't concede the next score and keep it at 110 to 22 points.
Yeah, that's it. They just want to keep there's 9 points between them. They don't want to get it any closer. I know there's only a couple of minutes left. We're into the additional time. I think it's about 2 minutes additional time, but Sarsfields don't want to concede another one, and they'd love to score a point yourself down here just to there's 9 points between them, but they don't want to be giving any Castlegar any hopes, so to speak, as this game comes to its conclusion.
Darren Neary from back in his own half back line sends in a long high ball in again around the square. Breaks though. Niall Quinn is onto it. The man that ended up on the ground was John Cooney.
Yeah, and you see Sarsfields had John Cooney, Niall Quinn and Kevin Hines underneath that high ball. 3 big massive men, and there was only 1 Castlegar man. They had massive numbers back there.
Ball breaks to Cian Corcoran. famous Castlegar name, of course, Corcoran from the past. I think he was in Kildare for a while, but back very much in Castlegar now.
Yeah, his grandfather John Joe would have refereed a good few county finals.
Oh, lovely catch there by Kevin Cooney. Nearly, he was running away from the ball nearly as he caught it into the hand, but he puts it wide.
Yeah, well.
Back, you're saying John Joe Corcoran would be.
I think he'd be his grandfather. You know, he's he would have refereed county finals in the past, no doubt. And you know, Keane Corcoran is a fine young player himself in Garage King. Actually, this is their first year playing. You know, so they'll learn from this. You know, it's a different level to when you're playing at underage level, under 20 or minor or whatever. You know, and this is a big one.
Yeah. Oisin Conley and Dara Donoghue get to know each other, but again, all Dara Donoghue wanted to stop. Oisin Conley getting that ball in fast. We played 2 minutes of the allotted extra time as Oisin Conley from his own 65-metre line drops in around the house again. The ball breaks in. Kieran Dolan, there was a connection onto it, but Kieran Dolan comes out. There's the final whistle from the referee Jerry Kelly, and there's no doubt about the final score here, Niall, in Kenny Park and Athenry. It finishes 110 for Castlegar, but 22 points for Sarsfields, and you'd have to say Sarsfields impressed in both halves, Niall, in putting the scores on the board at half time. To lead at half time by 15 points to 4 or 5, whatever it was, and then in the second half they dealt with what Castlegar threw at them. You know, 1-6, 1-5 is what Castle scores in the second half. Sarsfields came with 7 points of their own. They were impressive in both halves. They've
been really, really impressive, and you know, they had a hard victory over Ardrahan in the first round. Probably stood to them in many ways, and they were really, really good today. You know, they got the win in the first half, took their scores very, very well, and had built that platform by half time, and they just had to consolidate it in the second half. That's exactly what they did. They were really, really good. They're deserving victors. They have 4 points on the board. They have 1 foot and maybe a couple of toes in the quarter final, even at this stage in the championship, and you know, they'll be there or thereabouts. They're a series.
But there's the final whistle. There you have it then. That's the final score then in Kenny Park in Athenry. A convincing victory for Sarsfields. Sarsfields overcome Castlegar. The other game in this group was said is tomorrow between Ardrahan and Oranmore Mary, but for full time here in Kenny Park, it's a win for Sarsfields. Sarsfields 22 points, Castlegar 110.
QFinancial.ie got the price and advice for me.
Pension auto-enrolment will soon be introduced. This means that all full-time workers over the age of 23 earning more than €20,000 per year must contribute to a pension, and employers must contribute. What are those pension entitlements, and is there independent advice available? The Q Financial Pension Team are experienced in advising both employees and employers of the positive and affordable options available for your situation. Call 091 421 900 or log on to qfinancial.ie.
Q Financial, qfinancial.ie.
Based in Clare, Galway, OMA Financial Services Limited, trading as qfinancial.ie, is an authorised independent pension intermediary regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
We redefine your relationship with energy, save you money, and get you on the path to a cleaner, greener future. JFW Renewables, your nationwide solar energy specialists. Call us today for a greener tomorrow.
blocked there by Niall Quinn, and suddenly then through the auspices of Adam Donoghue they have a huge shot from out the country from Sarsfields, and that gives you an idea of the pass though, and puts the team under pressure. Picked up then by Paddy McCorry. He goes back then to Alex Kinnear on the 65 metre line, striking high, and Alex Kinnear with John Cosgrove. They would be delighted to have him back this evening line.
Yeah, he's a good forward. In fairness, John Cosgrove, missed the last day out, but in fairness, Michael Hanlon came in the last day and played well.
Kieran Dolan quickly goes out to his wing back there. That's Dara Donoghue, and Dara Donoghue from a huge distance out puts it high, and Sarsfields do enough, but that scramble defence comes out though. An opportunity now for Castlegar to get Dara Donoghue, and he goes on a run, getting away from Sean Neary. Good play by Dara Donoghue. Is this point number 2 coming from the wing back? The umpire has a long look, and Ian Fox tries to play a clever ball inside, well read by Donald Barry though, who slips in and breaks to the other left-hander. That's John Cooney, and John Cooney from there, clever ball out to Jack Coyne. Jack Coyne got 3 points against Overmore. That's a great strike into the breeze. Super score by Jack Coyne, a guy who was part of a Galway
championship. They have good championship credentials as Sarsfields come on the attack again.
John Cooney after a Castlegar attack to Niall Quinn. Niall Quinn, who's coming up the field, gets it off there then to the man wearing the number 19 jersey. That's Leon Kinnear. Connaughton is onto it, gets the hand pass away then to Alex Kinnear, and Alex Kinnear, strong high ball by Alex Kinnear from out the country. That's high, and that's now Donald Barry, who always has that energy and engine about him, comes in from the left hand side. Donald Barry striking, and Connaughton and David Connaughton gets it off then to Paddy McCorry. Paddy McCorry on the ball in the centre forward channel. He could take the shot on here as he gets away from Jack Coyne, and Paddy McCorry challenged there from Adam Donoghue, and Jerry Kelly will go in then, and Dean, there's going to be a free in, a little bit of afters then between them all over the place, isn't
but
it?
Anyway,
it's 15-5. We'll stay with the scoreboard, so which is now 15-5. Dean Higgins striking from out the country, and Dean Higgins gets this one over. A little bit of went astray with the pass, intercepted by Greg Thomas, and now Castle come again. Darren Neary, suddenly there's a little bit of space in front of him. Will he be happy to pat the pass back to Dean Higgins? Dean Higgins looks inside. Dean Higgins, can he get his second score from 3 shots? He does. Puts it high, puts it over. Kevin Cooney comes out the field, goes all the way across, super pass to Alex Kinnear. Alex Kinnear off the left, striking in towards the goal. Now I have to say, gets the lovely ball inside again to Michael O'Hanlon. Hanlon taking on Garrett King. This time he decides to strike and shoot. It gets inside the post. That's a if I didn't know better, I'd say he was thinking of going low, but he'd surely just pop it over the bar outside the 20 metre line. He put it kind of as Paddy McCorry, who gets away from Sean Neary. Then Paddy McCorry takes on the shot, getting away from Simon Thomas. That's a super score by McCorry. Goes back then to Jack Coyne. Jack Coyne goes through 3 Sarsfields players. That's the kind of run he needs. Then there's he gets a late hit, and that will good play by both teams there. But again, Sarsfields are playing the game right now where they want to in the Castlegar half of the field. Again, Castlegar go along looking for Greg Thomas, who's got away from 2 men. Greg Thomas coming in on the 20 metre line, winds up for the shot. It's in the back of the net. Yes, a goal.